I'm going to call the Joint County Conference Intergovernmental Committee to order for January 27th, 2021, I'm sorry. I am calling the meeting of the committee the Intergovernmental Committee to order. A physical quorum of the members is not present. However, pursuant to Section 7E of the Open Meetings Act, members are permitted to attend remotely. Either one member of the committee, the chief administrative officer of our chief legal counsel, are physically present at the regular meeting location. In-person attendance and public comments are allowed, subject to attendance limitations required to ensure the health and safety of those who attend. So I have on here, we usually say the Pledge of Allegiance. Is that something that you usually do at this committee meeting?
Yes.
Okay. So say the Pledge of Allegiance.
And the flag in the room, shoot. But we have one in Mayor Craig's office. There you go.
Oh, you can see my stomach. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
So let me introduce myself real quickly, as some of you know each other already. I am Paula Deacon Garcia. I am from District 2, and I was just elected to the county board. I worked for about 21 years. I just retired from the Village of Lisle, so I have a lot of municipal experience. So I'm coming to this board with a lot of knowledge on how the inside works, and I'm very excited to be working with you and together to make all of us be a team to make the county a better place. So that's who I am, and if you want to go around and introduce yourself, that would be great so I can get to know all of you.
I'm Rod Craig, and I'm the mayor of the Village of Hanover Park, approaching 14 years as the mayor, and 6 or 7 years prior to that as trustee, and then 5 years prior to that as the fire district, which I closed down, made it part of the municipality. So I've been around a little bit. I retired from the FAA as manager of operations at Chicago Center. And I've always loved every job I've ever been involved with. And getting with the people and being part of leadership for that has been quite rewarding. Meet a lot of good people. Oh, Dave Brummel.
Thank you, Rod. I am Dave Brummel, mayor of the city of Warrenville. I've been mayor for nearly 16 years now. I was a council person for 6 years and on the plan commission for 2 years before that. So it's pretty much in my blood these days. I really enjoy working with DMMC and with the county and with my peers to make our little section of DuPage County a little better than it was when we first got involved. And I think that's what we're all trying to do. So I'm happy to be part of this group, and let's go to work.
Next. Nunzio.
Hi, I'm Nunzio Police. I'm the mayor of Wooddale. I've been the mayor now for 9 years. I was an alderman for 4 years. Basically, we've been trying to take care of stormwater projects, redevelopment, got all kinds of things going on, and being part of this group helps because intergovernmental agreements are always needed. So,
so we discover. Is Mayor Morley on?
I'm here. Thank you, Alderman Craig.
That's history.
I'm Mayor of Elmhurst. I've been mayor for 8 years, 6 years as a councilman before that. I'm hanging up my spurs, though. I'm going to be done May 3rd, but who's counting? I actually love being a member of DMMC. It's one of the best parts about being a mayor, and certainly intergovernmental cooperation between all the groups I've always found to be beneficial because we're all serving the same constituents in some sort of overlap, and I always enjoy collaborating. And congratulations on your recent election, Paula.
Very nice, very nice. Jeff,
You're muted.
I think you're on mute, Jeff.
you're muted, Jeff.
Jeff, you're still muted.
All right, sorry about that. Sorry, I was late to get on, but I'm Jeff Prine. I'm the mayor of Itasca. I have been a part of this group for the last couple of years, and I look forward to working with you all again.
Thanks, Jeff. And Frank Trilla?
Hi guys, Frank Trilla. My daughter's kind enough to be driving me right now, so I'll as soon as I get home, I'll turn on the camera. I've been a mayor for 8 years and trustee for 2. So very excited to be a part of the intergovernmental group because I kind of see us as like the local version of the Gang of 8, even though there's more than 8. I think it's good that everyone gets together and shares ideas, and that's when local government can do its best. So looking forward to the teamwork.
Very good. Paul, I'll hand off to you. I think we've got all the mayors.
Yeah, so we got some new members here, and I'm going to pass it up to my members so they can introduce themselves. Start with Amy, I think.
Hi everyone, I'm Amy Chavez. I'm just newly elected with Paula on the same ticket November, so we're both new to the county board, and I'm in District 5 representing Naperville, Aurora, Warrenville, Woodridge, and Lisle.
And November Selman, who I think was on this before, if I remember.
Yeah, thank you. Hi, I'm Ashley Selman. I serve in District 1, which is the northeast corner of the county. I did serve on this committee last term, and I'm thrilled to be back on it as well. Thanks, Paula.
And then we have member Ozog, who I believe is also the chair, well, used to be the chair of this, so the co-chair.
Yes, and welcome. Glad to hand this great committee to you, Paula. I'm the District 4 rep. I'm one of the 3 District 4 representatives, and I represent the heart of DuPage, Wheaton, Glen Ellen, part of Lombard, Glendale Heights, Bloomingdale, and this tiny slice of Lisle. I think I covered everything. So, and I'm really glad to be continuing on this committee.
Glad to have you back, Mary.
How are you doing, Rod? Good to see you.
Very, very good. You're up to your eyeballs in transportation now?
I am this time. I'm really excited about that. I'm
We're gonna be having a conversation.
Yeah, definitely. But first month to get your bearings. So, but good to see everybody.
I mentioned at the beginning of the meeting, before we kind of started, member Schwarzy is also on this. He is the representative from District 6. But he is working tonight, so unable to make the shift or change his shift so he could be here. So hopefully I'm not cutting out too bad. I'm seeing him freezing a little bit. So
Very good. So I guess that was a lengthy welcome, but it's good to see everyone again. I've already forewarned. So anyone from the public out there gonna speak up?
I received no public comment in the inbox.
Okay, no public comment this evening. We have minutes of the previous meeting.
I motion that the January 8th, 2020 minutes be approved.
Second, Selman.
We've motioned by
Selman.
Oh, sorry, I thought you moved. Yeah, moved Selman.
Okay.
Oh, I did move. But yeah. So seconded by Selman. And can we have a vote? Roll call.
Didn't do a roll call sheet, so I'll just look at the screen. Thank you. Mayor Craig,
Aye.
Mayor Brummel,
Yes, I wasn't there.
Member Garcia,
Aye.
Member Chavez,
Aye.
Member Salman,
Aye.
Member Ozog,
Aye.
Member Prime.
Aye.
Oh, sorry, Mayor, excuse me. Mayor Police,
Aye.
Mayor Trilla.
Aye.
Aye.
Now we go on to the updates for the county and municipal issues. Do you want to start that, Mayor Craig?
Sure.
I'm going to hand off to the DMMC.
We have, trying to see here, municipal issues. I think we as mayors have really been having some good conversations with some of our legislators since the legislative session that went late into the night recently. We really need to emphasize, at least the mayors feel, a closer reliance as a resource to our legislators. I think we're out here where the rubber hits the road, and we certainly like to have exceptional staff work, dialogue, communication with all our legislators. And I think we need to reemphasize that. Some of the mandates coming down to the municipalities is always frightening for those of us that, as a last resort, raise our home rule, our home tax on homeowners. That's always a concern. Hanover Park, we've been able for 5 years not to do that. I don't see how we're going to get away with it any more into the future. But those are concerns, and our big one is the local government distributive fund, which is a percentage that comes to the municipalities, and we can't get additional unfunded mandates and cuts to the LGDF. So those are key points. I know there's a lot of issues out there that many of us have. There's a lot going on, a lot on the table, and I think our legislative action plans are in order, and we'll move ahead with that. Any other mayors update? Jeff, are you trying to speak?
No, I was just going to say you said it all, Rod. So I'm fine.
That's frightening. Mayor Brummel, anything?
Nothing to add. You did quite fine.
Nunzio?
We're good to go.
As long as the water's flowing through your town, right? Stormwater?
Yeah, we're spending $20 million. It better be flowing through.
Yeah, that's a heavy note. Frank Trilla? Okay, I think Frank's still in the car, maybe transitioning.
Correct. Yeah, we're good.
Very good. Okay. Paula, on the county side, anything updates?
Everything county right now is dealing with the COVID. Dealing with COVID in terms of getting health department with vaccine out, helping businesses, which I know all towns are hurting. I'm happy to hear that they're able to open as of yesterday, I believe. So some of the restaurants and everything should be a little bit, hopefully, able to get some of their business back. That's just the main concern for the county as of right now. And I think it's going to be for the near future, quite honestly, as it is for all of your towns. So that's about all I have to say about that. It's just getting money where it needs to be and getting vaccines in the arms of people who need it. So.
Good.
At this point, I guess we'll hand it off to the DMMC and hear about the county and state legislative priorities for 2021. I can talk what they are, unless you wanted to discuss them. So all got them in your packets. I know one was changed as of yesterday in the legislative committee. So I didn't know if you wanted to discuss any of them or if you wanted to have DMMC talk about them. Suzette, I didn't know if you had anything to add on that.
I would defer to Mayor Craig. Whatever you would like, Mayor.
Well, I see some comments. between the LAP and DuPage County. You know, restoring local control of the small cell technology. That may be completely out of control. We were pushing back on 5G. I don't know that I think the Supreme Court is kind of taking control of that. I don't know if there's any turning that back. But preserving local revenues, I kind of spoke to that earlier. I think we're close on that. The any of the other mayors want to speak to the LAP or what we're seeing from the county? We've had a good working relationship with the county, and usually we're in alignment on supporting one another. Any of the other mayors?
Yeah, I think we're all, as you said, we're all like working toward the same goal. So I feel that we are.
Yep.
Member Garcia or Mayor Craig, if I could.
Pardon me?
If I could just, Cheryl, would you mind explaining that? So we pulled the item on designating DuPage County as a watershed group. Can you just explain when we'll be getting the update to reconsider that so that the mayors sort of know the full scope of that conversation?
Sure. We're actually having a phone call tomorrow with the DuPage River Salt Creek Work Group and our Stormwater Department. So yesterday, the legislative committee, what you had in your packet, something I did 2 weeks ago, which is just kind of a bullet point of the state agenda items. Yesterday, I had a bigger packet I can send everyone that was adopted by the committee. They did remove the DuPage watershed group designation. There was some confusion with Conservation Foundation, Sierra Club, some other groups. As you all know, you probably all pay fees to the DuPage River Salt Creek Work Group. It's mostly treatment plants, but DuPage County, as a lead agency for stormwater in this county, also wants to be designated as a work group, not in competition, not to compete with Salt Creek, not to pay dues, but there's some territory in the DuPage River Salt Creek Work Group that doesn't include the whole county. So townships, for instance, I guess starting next year, will have to be doing water quality programs. And 4 or 5 of the townships are not in the boundaries of the Salt Creek River Work Group. So the county would be, I don't want to say a backup, but another designated group. Illinois EPA, according to Sarah Hahn, has treated us like a watershed group, but not officially. And you need to officially be one for a lot of rules and regulations. So we just want to complement and collaborate, not compete with the DuPage River Salt Creek Work Group. And that's what they thought the county was trying to do. So they're going to have a meeting tomorrow, work out some new verbiage. I'll probably get added back in, but it's really with stormwater right now. But they will be working for it.
Thank you, Cheryl.
Sure.
Okay, good. That was, I was not on top of that one.
Right. And just so, the only difference, Suzette and I, of course, talk pretty much every day of our lives and really compare notes, but there's a few things on the county list that aren't on the municipal list just because, as Chair Garcia said, we have to run the health department, right? So we're trying to get more funding from the state and more distribution of vaccines. So support public health departments is on our list. Election reform, it's a huge cost for the county. The clerk not only had to operate 268 polling places on election day, she had to mail ballots to every voter in DuPage County. So over 75% of our voters voted early, drop box, or vote by mail. Yet and I've been an election judge for years, but I had nobody come in on election day. We all sat there. And they were paying us $300, some crazy amount of money, because statutorily they still have to print 110% of the ballots, which is a waste of paper. We still have to have 15 judges there because you really don't know who's going to show up, but it doesn't make sense to have to do both. And we're not going to have CARES Act money this year to help offset the cost of that. So, you know, the local election jurisdictions are mostly county clerks, with a few municipal, but there needs to be some decisions made in Springfield to either let the county or local jurisdictions go to regional voting centers. Even if we had 150 versus 268. It's a big issue for us just because the clerks got to buy new machines and because they're on their last leg. So buying machines for 268 polling places versus 150 or even 200 is a big deal, right? So that's something that maybe not is on your list, but it's something all of our taxpayers have to pay for, you know, like the health department. And then we had a few other items on ours. First, the puppy mills, which I think the mayors have on your list now, trying to get a ban, at least in the larger counties, extending the 911 surcharge that we all need for ETSB to still operate. There's going to be a lot of environmental bills this year. A lot of our members are very, you know, concerned about a lot of those bills. Clean energy bill. We haven't seen language yet, but I'm sure there'll be a big environmental agenda this year. Capital infrastructure projects. And then I just heard on the news, they might actually have the census data at the end of April. So that would be really good news because the county board has to produce a new reapportionment map by July 1. So that's kind of our radar as well, just so you guys are.
Thank you, Cheryl, for doing that whole rundown on it. I really appreciate it. Member Chavez?
Yes, Cheryl, can you speak a little bit to this small cell technology and the opposition to that? Is that to get greater control in the local municipalities to be more revenue generating? So they can you speak to that a little, what we're actually aiming for there?
For sure. And Mayor Craig's right. There's not a lot we can do, but there's two issues. And in 2018, there was a bill that passed in Springfield, the small cell, what was it called? The Small Wireless Facilities Deployment Act. And it does sunset June 1 of this year. It, of course, you know, said you had to approve permits for small cell in the public right of way within so many days. You could only charge X amount. So it's very restrictive. 4 or 5 months after that state law passed, the FCC adopted their declaratory ruling, which further put additional time, you know, we call them shot clocks, permits, had to be approved. You couldn't look at the local aesthetics. You couldn't look at maybe it's on a school grounds or wherever the placement, all local control and zoning was kind of thrown out the window. The issue is the FCC federal rule is a little more lenient than the state. So if the state act sunsets June 1, and I have a whole memo from Barbara Reynolds, trustee's attorney on this, we get a little bit more, we can charge $275 instead of $250, and we have 20 more days instead of 90 days. So there is a little bit of wiggle room if that act sunsets, which would help us a little. And secondly, Senator Almond has worked, because Hinsdale, as you know, was the hardest hit. We haven't had that many applications yet at the county on our infrastructure. Hinsdale's had a ton of applications because they're going east to west. And if you've ever been in Hinsdale, no one has cell service there. So they've been bombarded with applications, and they don't have any ability to say, that's a school. We don't want a refrigerator box hanging on a pole by a school, or we don't want it by the park. There's just no ability to work through a process. So Senator Elman, I think, was going to put in a bill to study the health effects. As you know, that's been debatable. Some studies say there are no effects to the small cell. Others says, you know, we have people at county board. I'm sure Member Ozog remembers last year, they had a lot of people coming to county board, and you're right, there's not a lot we can do. We don't have any authority to regulate. Our transportation department works really hard to have a good relationship with AT&T and Verizon. And if we have a situation and we ask them to relocate, 9 out of 10 times they will, because we strive to have that good relationship, you know, with them. But I've never seen a bill in Springfield totally take local control away for private sector, because it's 5G and people need 5G. And I think we recognize that, but not for the county board or the mayors to have any seat at the table, what goes in their community, on their street pole, you know, street lights, on their utility poles. It was a very difficult fight. And the mayors, we fought hard. We lost it by one vote in the House. You'll remember who it is. In 2018, but we worked in press conferences together. We worked really hard together. But I think it's just a precedent of just taking all local control. I mean, Suzette, would you agree? I think that's.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you. And then those applications are coming directly from the service providers? Is that where those are coming from?
If they're in the public right of way or on our infrastructure, they usually go through transportation department for Schneider. Right. For us, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know much more to say about that.
Great job explaining it. I think that's good. Thank you, Cheryl. Let's see, any other, we're going to talk about topics and meeting dates for 2021. We're hoping to meet a little bit more often than we have been, since our last one wasn't since like last January, I think. So the meeting dates that we have on the book right now is April 28th, July 28th, and October 27th. So do I need a motion to have those approved for Cheryl?
Yes, please.
So moved, Brummel.
Second, Selman.
We have a motion and a second. Do we need a roll call vote? For the,
Yes, because we're okay.
so,
For me this time, so I'll do a better job. We usually just do a visual roll. Okay, I will start with the mayors if that's okay. Mayor Craig,
okay. Yes.
Mayor Prine,
Yes.
Mayor Police,
Yes.
Mayor Brummel,
Aye.
Mayor Morley,
Yes.
Mayor Trilla,
Yes.
County Board, Co-Chair Garcia,
Yes.
Member Ozai,
Yes.
Member Tevez,
Yes.
Member Salman.
Yes.
All right.
Now, do you want to discuss some topics that we wanted to deal with? I know, Mayor, I think you had one you wanted to talk about.
Did they actually have a question?
No, I had a topic. I'll go after you.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Sorry. Paula?
So I was just saying, Mayor Craig, did you want to bring up the one topic I think you wanted to discuss?
Gosh, what was that?
Restaurant inspectors, I believe.
Mayor Craig, that issue was resolved, I believe.
Oh, yes, that was resolved. Okay, that's why I lost it.
We'll go to Member Solomon then.
Thank you, Member Garcia. I'm thinking probably for the rest of the year, it might be nice to simply have COVID updates and questions and economic development updates and questions as standing agenda items, because I'm sure as we get more vaccines and new federal legislation and all sorts of things, there'll be questions. And I think this body could really be helpful in trying to make sure that communication is as clear as possible, or at least we can collect all the areas where there's confusion, because there always seems to be with federal legislation. So I think that would be helpful. Thank you.
Any opportunity for clarity around vaccinations is a plus. And I can tell you, I'm half in Cook and half in DuPage. The Cook County side has been a roller coaster. They put out a big message that you could get into, put your name on the list, enter your zip code, and you would be contacted. The only problem is every community that was in one shared counties, they wouldn't accept your zip code. So I would type in my 60133 and it was not there. So I got on my Cook County commissioner and he goes, "Oh, that's not right." I said, "Well, tell me." So he gets back and he gets in that committee meeting and he said, "We fixed it." So I got on, it wasn't fixed. I got on again, day later. So I'm harassing my Cook County chairman, the rookie Kevin Morrison, and he knows. I told him, "Listen, I don't like to harass you, but let's get this done right." Because I have people in town calling me that they can't sign up. Well, finally, they didn't want to do it until Tony Preckwinkle could get out there and make an announcement. Then they brought it up at 11 o'clock on Monday. I checked it again, and the results are, if you type in 60133, you can get on their schedule and you can choose where you'd like to go to get your vaccine. And they even included, if half my residents live in DuPage County and they sign up on that website, they can go and get the shot. So it became from being kind of restrictive to being more open. So that was resolved on that part. If somebody dials into the Cook County side, at least for those municipalities, and it was more than Hanover Park. I mean, Bartlett, portions of Hoffman Estates, and what was the other one? It was really screaming, Buffalo Grove. So, and then going south, God knows, you know, who's in 2 counties. So I thought I'd share that, but hopefully this will iron itself out. We'll get the vaccinations out and we can resolve some sense of normalcy.
Mm-hmm.
Learned a lot certainly in this last year about how to communicate, how to figure out. I never knew what a Zoomathon was previously, but I get a lot of energy from being with people. And so if I get in the room with all of you, my energy goes to a whole nother level. And I have a lot of passion for that. So I'm a problem solver. I like working together. And Mary, you're going to hear from me. That's the 3rd time. I'm also on the Metro board, and I'm very passionate about transportation and access and getting things up to speed there. And Mary, you're what committee are you on now? The representing the county?
Public Works and Public Transportation.
Yes.
I'm chair.
So I'm a big transit guy.
But Mayor Craig, when you talk like that, I feel like my Zoom might instantly go out. I'm feeling like just gonna. I'm kidding, of course. But
Of course, I get it.
lots.
I enjoy what I do, and I enjoy people, and so sometimes my passion goes on forever.
And it's so nice when we can gather together and have our box lunch too, or box dinner. So we're missing that.
I do miss that.
Hopefully one of our meetings in the near future. So
But with the vaccination.
We'll definitely talk, Mayor Craig.
Okay, good. I'll look forward to it.
Perfect. Is there any other old business anyone wants to talk about?
Any other old business?
None. Any new business?
Oh, Member Chavez has her hand up.
Just thought, I think mine does fall under new, so I kind of got in between old and new. But I just wanted to say that I'm the new chair of economic development. So what I'm looking forward to doing is overlapping within this committee as well. I think I'm currently learning about all the resources that are available, but ones that I hope you all have on your radar is Choose DuPage. I do believe that as soon as we get another round of an economic package, that we'll be able to reopen that portal, and I'm working closely with them to make sure that we have those resources lined up for our businesses in each of your communities. So when you do have businesses reach out to you, please do have them get on board with Choose DuPage. Reach out to Greg Betelov. I've had several constituents that have spoken with him directly when they've had business issues, and he's super responsive. And the more that they can get on that website and be ready for when that portal opens, I think it will behoove them. And then secondly, also WorkNet. And one of the things that I learned as a new county board member is for those businesses that have had to pivot and have had to change the way they're doing business in the pandemic, there are grants available through WorkNet, DuPage. And so if you hear of businesses that perhaps can move forward with their business but need to do a little retraining for their employees, those resources are available. Grants of $10,000 where they could bring in a trainer, rework the way their employees are working. And I think that those are great resources for you all to make available as well. And that's it from me, but I'm looking forward to overlapping there.
Well, I'm glad to hear you say that, Amy, because at one portion of time I was on that representing DuPage mayor and managers on Choose DuPage. And Greg Betelov is a superb individual. I can't say enough good about him. He does find ways to do outreach. We do communicate effectively with him, with our community development department, with not only him, but I mean with all those that Choose DuPage. I'm glad to hear you want to integrate that into this group. I think that a part of our conversation is always good. Especially for mayors who don't always know what's going on in the back room with the community development departments. but it's good to hear what's happening and what's going on, and for us to validate all that. It's good news. Thank you, Amy.
Thank you, of course.
Rosa.
Mary.
Just to add, DuPage did a really great job administering our all of our COVID money, small business, et cetera. So I think they did a lot of work, and I think it went as smoothly as we could hope for. So hopefully round 2 is coming soon. They did a great job.
All right. Anyone else? New business? Anyone? Anything for the good or the order? No. Frank?
Rodney, can I speak?
Absolutely.
So I would like to take this opportunity to thank the county board members that were on the board, prior to this election, for the way they embraced the villages and our sharing of the CARES money. I think the way that was done is an excellent example of teamwork, and I applaud the way that was handled. So thank you.
Thanks, Frank. I know you have a couple businesses in the county, and I'm always happy to visit them when I can.
Yeah, we appreciate it. As a small bit, I own 4 small businesses, and we got wiped out pretty bad. So we were able to get some help from the county, and you'll never know how much it meant. And it's personal for me, but it's people talk about small business like it's this mysterious people, and these are the people that are in our neighborhoods that we go out of our way to try to support. So a lot of them will never have the opportunity to thank you. So on behalf of them, I thank you, especially for the people and the business owners of Willowbrook.
Very good. Good of the order, Mary.
Thank you, Frank. I appreciate it, because I have to say it was a really collaborative process, and I think we covered everybody that we could have covered, park districts, our municipalities, our townships, and then of course small businesses. And I think we worked pretty well together, so that was very encouraging. So thank you.
I agree. And hats off to Suzette and our staff and your staff. The people behind the scenes busted their ends and did a hell of a job.
And thanks to Suzette and to Cheryl.
Yes.
Hello there. No, it's been a pretty nuts last 6 months, but it was very collaborative, and I was really pleased to see that. So thank you for acknowledging it, Frank.
Very good. I'm glad you mentioned Cheryl and Suzette. We are blessed there. Anyone else? Good of the order? With that,
they have COVID and economic development updates. Are there any other future topics you want Suzette and I to have on the agenda, or is that just it? I just want to make sure I have that clear.
On the future agenda?
Mm-hmm. Like, are there any other topics? I know Member Stallman said COVID update and economic development update, but are there any other topics, or you want presentations on this year? Or
Cheryl, excuse me, Chairman Garcia.
Please go ahead.
Thank you, guys. I think we'll see what happens. Our next meeting, did you say April, Paula?
28th.
Okay, well, let's keep our fingers crossed. Maybe one of our other updates will be another round of COVID funding. So hopefully that'll be on there too.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
We'd like to be talking about that for sure.
Yeah.
Well, if we have a pop-up need, certainly let Cheryl or Suzette know, and they'll collaborate and get it before us. I think we're that flexible.
Mm-hmm.
We are. If not, Dave Brummel will call me.
So anyone else who thinks of any ideas you might want to have any kind of presentations brought before this board, please let either myself or Mayor know or Cheryl know, and we will get that on the agenda. I think it's always good to hear what's going on from other people like the Forest Preserve and things like that, and what they're doing and how they can work with us, and how, and of course, the economic development is, of course, very needed. So any kind of information on that, maybe to choose DuPage kind of a presentation to this board on what they can or cannot do. I know I've talked to Greg, and so I think he would be a very good person to come and speak to this board also. So
We've had him come before. Frank, did you have a comment? Microphone. Can't hear you, Frank.
I'm getting there. Okay, so I was just going to ask, have we explored, I know you talked about the cost of elections. Have we explored the college population in, specifically around the county seat, but College of DuPage, Naperville Central, Wheaton College? Is there a way that maybe we could bring college kids into that process with, some type of credit or something, and, for a lot of different things. I mean, especially ones that are studying, public service, as far as, election judges, cleaning out the election rolls, all types of things that, they could do to help us, keep our costs down that, sometimes we just don't get to.
I do know that the clerk did reach out to college students. You have to be the registered voter in DuPage to be a judge, and a lot of college students are still registered at their home address. However, the money was great, and of course, younger people versus us old judges, they know how to do the technology a lot better. So I know the clerk's office did reach out to them. Temporary workers, I don't know. That's a really good idea. They need a lot of temporary workers, during the election cycle. So sure, absolutely.
Well, very good. Last call for good of the order. With that, we'll have a roll call to adjourn. Do we have a motion?
So move, Selman.
Second, Ozog.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Who would call the roll? Cheryl? You call
Take the roll here. Thank you. Mayor Craig,
Aye.
Mayor Pine,
Aye.
Mayor Please,
Aye.
Mayor Brummel,
Aye.
Mayor Morley,
Aye.
Mayor Trilla,
Aye.
Member Garcia,
Aye.
Member Ozog,
Aye.
Member Chavez,
Aye.
Member Solomon.
Aye.
All ayes.
All ayes. Everyone have a nice evening and enjoy shoveling snow. I think more is coming. With that, I'm supposed to make you smile, maybe not. Have a nice evening. Thank you.
Good night, everybody. Thank you.